And welcome to another episode of Experts Speak. I am Michael DeLon. Today I am talking with Yakov Filippenko. Yakov, thank you for spending some time with me today.
Hi, Michael. Thanks for asking me to join your podcast.
You are welcome. It's going to be a fun conversation because, Yakov has got a great background. He's done a lot of things in a period of time to build businesses and different things. But he's got another business up and running with some people. And really, what we're going to be talking about is how can you, as a business owner, how can you find part-time roles for a third of the cost? And it's really intriguing what he's doing. So whether you're a business owner or whether you're a service provider, this is going to be a really interesting conversation. So, Yakov, let's get into it. Tell us, how in the world did you get doing what you are doing today?
Sure. Actually, it started when my first startup was acquired, and I joined Alter VC, which is like Israel-based venture capital firm. And it was during the pandemic, and some startups in our portfolio they didn't feel themselves like well, like travel tech. But some startups like Deal or Miro, they started to, I don't know, skyrocket. And we started to investigate why, and we found an obvious reason. Like it's during the pandemic, people, professionals, they moved to their places or even to their home countries, and they started to work from home. And after the pandemic, when it's like finished, companies started to force their like employees to come back to their offices. But most of our users or professionals, they realize that their work-life balance changed a lot, and they do not want to uh, to to decline this way of how they live. I mean, like more traveling, more like spend more time with their families and friends and so on. And we realize that it's a new demand from absolutely different people, from Gen Zs, from all the generations, but they want to to have this new way of like working. And but there is no tool for that, and we started to develop it, and we found that it's not it's beneficial actually for both parties, for professionals. And they have two options. They want, in some cases, they want to have a part-time job uh, in addition to their full-time, or in some cases they want to replace their full-time job with 3 to 4 part-time projects. And the important thing is to say that part-time is something different from traditional freelance. Freelance typically is something like very short for a small amount of money, and best professionals actually do not want to spend their like days and nights by clicking on this like links. Hey, I want to work for, I don't know, additional $40. What they really want, they want to invest their knowledge and experience in just another project, and they can't like split this their resources in a lot. That's why they want like up to 3 4 2 to 4. Yeah, and for small and mid-sized businesses, it's actually a great opportunity, because they can afford to hire best professionals for 1/3 of their salary. uh, and even if they're no names, and they still can hire for part-time projects, or part-time roles, top professionals in the field. That's the future.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, no, I like that. And when you and I were talking beforehand, and we want to dive into this because what you've created here is a network, and it's and so let me make sure I'm getting this right.
Huh?
So this is ideal for um, professionals. So small business owners are looking for, let's say, a marketing team or maybe a sales team or a developing team, a web design team, something, whatever. And instead of a project base, this is more of of really kind of bringing a part-time employee on in a different kind of way, because the part-time employee is remote somewhere, but they're more dedicated, I guess, is the word that came to my mind. They would be more dedicated because they feel more part of your team, because it's a longer role for them versus just a project. Like, I need my website updated. That's a project versus I need a better structure or a am I
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
it?
yeah. Yeah, exactly. So like actually, we had it even before, let's say accountants. Like you need to work with them as a like part of your team, because they're like you have some laws things, and you need to like share with them your private data and so on, and you are with them for a long period of time. But I don't understand, but same thing with developers or marketers. Let's say we as like we use our service as clients, as
Always
customers.
good.
Yeah, and that's like why we like it. So like when we decided to start our marketing, or actually Facebook ads, we realized that we wanted to hire best of the best, and at that time we didn't have enough money to hire them for full time, right? And we published a job post for part time, and we hired actually more than one person. And in the period of like 4 months, they developed our marketing strategy and they implemented it. And since then, we started to grow. And that year, like last year, we grew up like 70x, which is like pretty significant. But the idea that like I knew that just to start this marketing thing, we need to invest like up at least 2 months just to set up like all tools, deep dive into the analytics and so on. And this is like a long process, which is not, you can't like implement it with just like traditional freelancers, because like their projects are typically from a couple of hours to up to a few weeks. And in our case, it's a like it's already a year and a half, and we are still working with same people.
Yeah,
Does that make
and
sense?
that's good, because that builds a lot of consistency in things. So help us. You and I talked earlier, and because when I first saw what you did and everything, my mind, from a business owner mind, when I tried to understand what you're doing, I went to like an Upwork thing, and you said, well, it's not really that; it's more like LinkedIn. Help us understand that difference, because you've built this network, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like both freelance and traditional work jobs, like it's like we can name it like work, right? But we know that a hiring process is absolutely different, right? For freelance and for full-time jobs. So
Right.
the same thing here. And what we know, like when even if you're hiring for part-time, the most crucial thing is your trust, especially when you're hiring a remote person who will never visit your office, or even from another country. So the idea is that, yeah, we are building a professional networking service like LinkedIn, but specifically dedicated or targeted to part-time roles. So we
Yeah.
designed the process of how you can find these opportunities, of how you can interact, how you can build trust, how you can make introductions, and all of the things. It's a core, and then on the top of that, it's just actual like job posts for part-time and so on. Let's say Upwork. In Upwork, your most crucial parameter is the price, right? And how fast you can hire. But this is not like the way of how you want to hire your next or your marketer, because like if you will pay X money to this marketer, you will spend much more on your marketing budget, and
Right.
you need to trust this person, even if it's a part-timer, right? So that's the idea. So we built a professional networking app, and on the top of that, you can find your part-time jobs, or you
Yeah.
can find part-time employees.
And that's good. And you guys have grown significantly. I was looking at some of your information, and you went from, oh, I don't know, it was like, 75,000 people using it to like a 500,000 people using it or something. I mean, it's just this massive number. So I want my audience to understand, this is not some little startup that has 3 people on it. This is a major worldwide network. So if you're a business owner and you're looking for help in some area, this is going to be a great place for you to go, because of the way that it's structured. You can get a I'm going to say a full part-time person. You can get a part-time person on your team who's going to be there to build the trust, to understand you, to take loads off your plate, but you're not paying them what a full-time person would be. So that's where the cost savings comes in. And did I summarize that well?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's not just about money. It's also about like testing approach to how do you do your business, right? So for example, with part-timers, you can like, let's say you have a hypothesis. Let's say we want like we want to launch this kind of advertisements, and you can hire part-timers and test it in a period of three months, and then you will realize that it doesn't work, and like you can just like stop this project and you can do something else.
Yeah.
And that's kind of flexibility and like agile approach to it. Yeah, so like if you actually want to test it, you just go to inch.org, and inch, by the way, it stands for let's be in touch, which is also about networking.
Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, it's inch.org. It's intch.org. So let's be in touch. As you kind of combine that, that's kind of cute.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
easier to remember that way. Inch.org. And yeah, that's what I was going to ask is, I mean, you and I could talk, I think, for a very long time about all the intricacies and all the things, but really at the end of the day, a business owner needs to be able to just experience it. And you've got an app so this is obviously on online websites. It's got an app that goes with it, so business owners can do this anywhere, anytime. The resumes of the people that are on there are there. It's really just a simple way to find and connect with quality professionals who are looking for part-time work, right?
Yeah,
And who want to come alongside of business owners and help us grow at the end of the day. Fair?
fair. Yep,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay. So what's the, I mean, from a business owner perspective, what's the best way for them to get their head around this? Do you have a membership site on your app? Is it a free download? Do they go to your website? What would a business owner, what's the kind of like their next step, just to go, wow, this is kind of a new thing. I need to investigate this. What do I do? Where should they go, Yakov?
Yeah, sure. Actually, they just need to open inch.org. And at the bottom of our landing page, we have different scenarios. Let's say, like you know that you want to hire a designer or a marketer or a developer. You just need to tap on the right button and follow the process. But in most cases, that's actually like the difference between let's say myself. I know, like a year ago, I knew that we want to grow, right? We want to increase the number of our users, but I'm not a marketing person. So what I just like I posted a job post, but it wasn't not like we want to hire people like who experienced in, I don't know, SEO or something like that. I posted a job post like we want to increase the number of users in such platform and so on. And I started to get responses from like experts, and they started to suggest to me like, hey, we can develop your SEO strategy. Or some of them were like, we can go through Facebook ads or Instagram ads. And it was like a conversation, and that's the important thing
Mm-hmm.
for us, that it starts with just like a question of how we can do something. And then between all these opportunities, we decided that we want to test SEO, and we want to test Facebook and Instagram. And by the way, SEO didn't work, but
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, like it with these specific people, these specific professionals, it started to grow. So yeah, you just need to go to inch.org and post your first, let's say, question or job post.
Excellent. I love that. I love the questioning aspect of it, because I think so many times as a business owner we say, "Well, I'm this is yeah, I need to grow my business. I'm looking for an SEO expert," and the business owner honestly is not qualified to make that decision most of the time, because we don't
Yeah.
know what we need to do. And so your question aspect was kind of cool, and you threw a question out. You got some responses. You were able to kind of build relationships, vet some people, and then move down the path. That's really a different way, a different approach. And I think what you've created, Yakov, is a very different approach, probably a welcome approach, because you're bringing a new, I don't want to say it's a new technology. You just packaged it in a different way to allow us to find part-time help that are professionals anywhere in the world to help us. And it's a networking thing. So I'm going to make sure that in the show notes, inch.org, intch.org, and go look it up. If you're a business owner or if you're a professional and you're looking for part-time work from small business owners, you need to look at it as well, because it actually solves both sides of that equation, and it brings you together in a very cool networking app. So, Yakov, this is really intriguing, very fun. I love the way you think and the way you've gone from one business to the next and iterated everything. So, I'm looking forward to sharing this with my audience. I'm going to have the information in the show notes. So, if you're a business owner and you're out doing your thing or on a sales call, just go back and re-listen to this and then drop in the show notes. Go to inch.org, INTCH, and check out what Yakov has put together. So, Yakov, man, thank you for what you do. Thanks for putting this together and for being my guest today on Experts Speak.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. It was my pleasure.